I just want to make sure that the lighting is fine. I think it is. And I think I'm in a frame. I just want to check real quick on here on YouTube to see. Okay. 1 second. I just want to make sure it looks good. Okay. Just want to make sure it looks good. Okay. Want to make sure it looks good. Okay. All right. Great. So we are live. Um, and we are live today because the time kind of got away from me yesterday. So we are doing the topic of why the U.S. doesn't offer moms postpartum paid maternity leave, or it doesn't guarantee mothers paid maternity leave. So I do have some answers. Like I posted this on my Facebook and I posted it also here on YouTube for as a community tab. So some people did answer those. So I'm going to read those first. And of course, then I will share my thoughts and opinions about the topic. Um, and then, we'll go from there. We'll just see where the conversation takes us. And also today, we are celebrating 1,000 subscribers on this channel. I am so grateful. I am so happy. I've been working hard on this channel for a little over 2 years now. And I'm just so happy to finally reach that milestone here on this channel. So yeah, thank you all for subscribing and liking and sharing and commenting. I definitely appreciate it. And so to celebrate that, we're going to be doing a giveaway. So let me show what the giveaway um, gifts are. But these are custom paints from my mom. So if you know her, her name is Tamika Hicks on her Facebook. And on Instagram, I think it's Tamika D Danya. If I hope I'm right with that one. But I have these three, so we're gonna have three winners. Um, and basically, we're going to thank you so much, Dad. Hi, we miss seeing y'all today. I guess you guys were out having fun. But yes, thank you for joining the live. So these are gonna be the three paintings. I'll show them again. But honestly, I'm gonna give them out randomly, so I don't want to, say like, pick which one because I just feel like that won't maybe be fair because they aren't the same and because they are all different. So they're all custom made paints. My mom made these, and these are three that she gave to me. She said I can use for my giveaway. So I'm really excited about that. But how we're gonna do this is we're going to I'm going to go through and do some questions, but every now and again, or read the comments that I have. Every now and again, I'm going to ask a question that people who are subscribed to this channel or who have been watching and following should know or might know. And then whoever gets them right will get one of these. So it's going to be random, like I said, but you will get one of these custom made art paintings from my mother. And if you do win the question, so I'm going to ask a question. If you do win it, then you just send me your address and we will ship these out to you. So you can send that to Tashima McRae at yahoo.com and also shades of sage at gmail.com. But I will leave both of those email addresses in the description box of this video. So if you guess the answers right, you can get one of these paintings. So we're going to have three winners and I'm really excited about that. But yeah, so this question I asked maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was just waiting to see if I could get some more responses on it. But why doesn't the U.S. offer moms postpartum paid maternity leave or guarantee that they get it? Because some women do get paid maternity leave, and it really does depend on the company you work for. It depends on how many employees they have. And so that's just some of the barriers. But we're going to talk about why it's not a universal thing here in this country as being considered a first world country, and then yeah, we're gonna go from there. So I posted this on Facebook. And I have two comments on here, so I'm just going to try to read them as quick as I can. But Tamika has commented, please make this shareable. This is an excellent topic to discuss. It amazes me how it takes a woman 9 months to fully grow a baby, and yet we're expected to be healed enough to go back to work at 6 weeks after giving birth. It's madness to think this is acceptable. This is definitely something we should all rise up about. And because of this, the entire family unit is affected in more ways than one. And I really can't wait until your live discussion on this matter is so needed. Okay. And then the other topic, no, the other comment is by Todd Hicks. That's also my dad. And his says, yep, great topic. Need to spread the information on. Okay, so that was on my personal, that was from my personal Facebook page. I did also share it on this mom group that I'm a part of. Um, but you know what? Look, let's go back. Let's go back to that, to these, and talk about that first. So yes, I definitely agree with that statement that Tamika Hicks made, and that is my mom, by the way. Um, Yeah, it is. It's absurd to think that we should be capable to go back to work or resume all of our normal activities that we were able to do before giving birth. And I'll take it one further, even before getting pregnant, because if you've been pregnant before, there's a lot of things. Not that it's a disablement or whatever, but there's a lot of things that become a little bit more challenging for you if you're pregnant. Now, if you're one of those people who has easy breezy pregnancies, and more power to you. Um, but some women don't. Some women are on like bed rest. Some women have, incompetent um, cervixes, and they have to take things lighter. They have to be easier, and a lot of things. So yeah, I do agree. I think that's crazy. That women, if they're not in a company that's protected by the maternal leave act, they do have to go back to work 6 weeks or 8 weeks after birth if you had a C-section. Um, and I do also agree that it's something that we should rise up about, like kind of we need to change this. It just needs to change. It's not good, it's not healthy. Um and yeah. So I did say, that I agree with that and I can't wait to discuss it, and thanks for sharing your thoughts. So on the motherboard, I'm a part of a motherboard, which was like the same year that I had Kenzo. And we all keep contact with each other, which I think is really cool. Um and so I did have one response on there by Brittany Martin, and it says, I believe it's because our culture isn't centered around the family. It's all about me, and that's in quotations, and the individual with zero emphasis on the family as a whole. Side note, I was a teacher before having my November babe, and even the education field, which you would think would be supportive of family, is terrible with maternity leave. You truly feel that having a baby is the worst thing that can happen as a teacher. And in parentheses, she says it puts stress on the system, and I taught in a very supportive school. So I think that's all the comments on there. So that was just her experience of why she thinks that it's not a guaranteed thing for all mothers postpartum. And I just responded that, I was sorry to hear her experience, that was her experience. And you would think that a school would be more supportive, honestly, because they're teaching children. So you figure if a teacher has a child, that's children, and, so they should totally understand that. But she's not the only one. There's lots of jobs out there where they make it difficult to even tell them that you're pregnant. Like some jobs are and it's almost sometimes like the more higher up you get as far as like your job title or in that company, it's kind of, I don't want to say looked down upon, but maybe that is the case. Maybe it's looked down upon, or maybe it's frowned upon for you to be like in your childbearing years or to even get pregnant, because they just see that as, of course, you'll be taking some time off after you have your baby, and some companies don't even want to hire women that are in their childbearing years. So yeah, I thought that was kind of sad that she experienced that, especially in the school system, because you would think out of all places they would have 100% your support. But she said that wasn't the case, so she shared her experience, and I just told her thank you for bringing that to my attention and for commenting. And the next one, so I have a few here on YouTube by Jacqueline McRae, which is so funny. This lady, if you're watching, a shout out to you if you're watching. I kind of met her on a comment of another video. I think it was a hair video. And our children, so we're so similar. We almost have the same exact last name, but it's spelled differently. We both have 4 children. I think her youngest might be 6 months old now, and her oldest is 6, if I'm not mistaken. And so we both have 4 children, and our children are almost the same exact ages, and we have like the same exact last name. And just I just thought that was so uncanny. And I have been getting her support since we connected with each other. So thank you so much for, engaging and responding on here. So she said, honestly, I think it's because the government doesn't value the birth of children. My husband's family is from Germany, and they pay them a portion of their salary for 3 years. 3 years. Okay, I had to emphasize that. Or if both parents are working, they pay the parents child support, and that's in quotations, each month until they turn 18. Oh, this is more. Okay. And it goes up to 25 if the child is still in school. So I'm guessing like college, secondary school. We have 4 small children, and it is not easy. No, it's not. And we appreciate all the help that we get. People think we are crazy, but if we had the same support as those in Germany do, then there would be a lot more families with 4 or more children in the US. And I totally agree with everything she said. Totally. Totally agree. I don't know that much about Germany, but from what she's saying, sounds excellent. It sounds excellent. It sounds, supportive of the family, they're just the family structure and just the finances that go into raising children. Um, and I replied, thank you for sharing. That's a lot to unpack because I was just astounded by that 3 years thing. Like, that's awesome. That's amazing. Um, and thank you for sharing because it's nice to know what other cultures are doing for their families so we can compare. Um, and then you also it's kind of a little discouraging too because you just see how much or how far we're lacking in that area. Um, and she responded back, I completely agree. There were rather fun wars that push the agenda of a select few instead of helping the citizens. So this is still talking about, um, why families don't have as many children here in the US or why it's not supported, the postpartum, um, postpartum, what a postpartum, like maternity leave as finances. And I just saw a video where a 2-day hospital stay after giving birth costs 36,000 in the US. Yeah, and in South Korea, they give all their citizens money to help with the cost of pregnancy and birth. And the South Korean mom showed that she pretty much had the same, if not more, care, and she paid well under $1,000 US. Now, that's amazing. Now, I don't know exactly how their currency matches up to ours. Like, it's 1,000, um, like how much money that is in their currency. I should say, but $1,000 US here, and it's just yeah, it's crazy, it's crazy. I thought there was one more comment somewhere. Um, I don't know if it's showing up on here. One, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. There is one more, but I don't know if it's not showing up, but that's okay. I think someone else had commented on that, but yeah, so you can see that it's just not good. Now, okay, so here in the US, like I said, it really does depend on the company you're working for. And I think it's if they have 50 employees or more, then you are eligible for getting at least some kind of maternity paid leave. But if it's like a small company, so like a mom and pop shop or something small where they don't have 50 employees, they don't have to guarantee you that paid leave at all. Um, and I'll share my experience. So I just want to make sure I got them all. So the last job, or like where I went outside the home and had, and I'm not gonna name the company, even though I should call them out. But let's just say I don't eat there anymore. But so yeah, I was working, and I was there for like maybe 6 months, and I found out I was pregnant, and I had really, really bad morning sickness. Like I said, my morning sickness is just debilitated. And so at that point, I was like, I can't continue to do this job. And so I did leave that job. And then when it came time, when I gave birth, the pregnancy was over, and I filled out like the disability forms, um, which would have enabled me to get like, at least I think it's like 60% of what I was earning. they blocked it like every step of the way. And I think we even went to appeal. I went to appeal it like two or three times, and every single time it was blocked. So it was like because that company was the last known company that I had worked for, and they didn't approve of my disability, then I didn't get that money at all, which to me is insane because I still paid into the money, I still did the work, and I still had a baby. It doesn't change the fact that I had a baby, whether I left the company on good terms or not. And so that really upset me. I was really mad and hurt about that. And that's why I said I don't eat there no more because they're not getting none of my money. Like, you know what I mean? Like in a situation like that where I honestly needed the money and I was looking forward to that, I couldn't even get it, and still to this day haven't. So, um, yeah, and I just don't think that's right that the companies can decide whether or not you will get paid money. And like one lady mentioned, it really is a problem because the U.S. is mostly focused more on the individual. So like the individual person themselves, so that the person working, but it doesn't matter that you have children at home. It doesn't matter that you have a spouse at home. Be here on this time. You work for me and you do what I say, that kind of thing. And even in some companies where, so like if you don't actually get income while you're postpartum, you can get your job like saved for you. And even that sometimes doesn't work out because sometimes they may fire you for just like weird and stupid stuff. I've heard some weird and stupid things, or like, they'll say that you're not equipped to do the job anymore when you come back, or they sneak your job out underneath you, find some kind of loophole, some kind of way. And then you can't even come back to your job. And that's not to mention even if they were paying you, because they may not have even been paying you. So that's really a shame. So yeah, thank you ladies for sharing, your thoughts and opinions about why that is. And I feel the same way. I feel like it's just because the family system as a whole just isn't valued in this country, which is unfortunate. And there and there's a lot of things I think that go into it. But before I get any further, let's do a question for the giveaway. Um, Let me see if there was any comments over here. Oh, hi, Tiana. I didn't even see that come up. So I don't know if you just did that or not. But hey, girl, thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. Um, what was my first question gonna be? I had them. I had it in my head. I didn't write anything down. I didn't write anything down. So I hope I can remember. Ooh. Oh, yes, I know one. What is my motto that I say at the end of all of my videos? If you've been watching and you're subscribed, you should know if you've been watching the whole entire video. But whoever can answer that question, and not family included, because I think you guys already know, and that wouldn't be fair. So anyone can answer this question that's watching this live. And leave that. You can put that in the chat box, or you can, yeah, let's say the chat box. So let's see if it goes unanswered, then maybe I will accept it from the oh my gosh, from the bottom, like at the end of the video. But I honestly want to make sure that whoever answers it first gets it. So I yeah, I don't know if I should write it down. I can go back to the chat, I think. Okay. So yes, that is the first one. What is my end phrase or my motto on this channel that I say at the end of all of my videos? Okay. Hi, Esther. Yeah, I was wondering if Saturday is better for lives or Friday. So I guess we'll see at the end of how many people logged on and how the watch time is looking. I didn't know. I was like, I'll just try it and see and compare, see if that's better for people. Um, but sometimes Saturdays is kind of funny with Saturdays because obviously it's the weekend and a lot of people have off, so of course they want to spend that with their family. So I totally get it. Um, so yeah, we'll see if Friday or Saturday is better for the lives. I just want to go back to the comments so I can refresh my memory. Um, oh yes, the thing about the whole family unit. Okay. Oh, last Saturday works better for me during the evening if I'm not traveling. Okay. Okay, I would definitely keep that in mind because if Saturday is gonna get more people watching, then I would switch to Saturday. That's no problem. Um, so yes, Yeah, oh, that's the other thing I wanted to mention. So about the family unit, and that's going off of the comment that I have here by my mom here on Facebook, about the whole family unit being affected. So if you have mothers returning back to work at 6 weeks, at 8 weeks, because they can't stay home, um, the bottom line to this that really annoys me to no end, and I just really don't understand. The bottom line is that somebody has to watch the baby. You can't get around that. You can't get past that. You can't get over that. You can't get under that. And it just drives me crazy because if you're telling the mom that she has to go back to work, now she has to pay someone to watch her baby? That's stupid. I'm so passionate about that. I just think that's so dumb. I don't understand it, and it doesn't make no sense because at the end of the day, somebody has to watch the baby. So why not let it be mom? Why not let it be the mother of her child watching her baby? Now, don't get me wrong. There are some women out there who love to work, like that's their break. And I totally get that too, because I'm home most of the time. So I totally understand those moms who are like, nope, I don't care. I want to work outside the home. That's for me because that's my, alone time. And so I get that. But for the moms who want to stay home for with their children or, who want to be there, um, more actively and can't because of financial reasons. I just think that that's sad. That really is sad. I think that's sad that we as a society make it seem like that's okay and that's acceptable. And now here we have a mother who, just had a baby 6 to 8 weeks ago. Now she's working. Um, and now she has to pay childcare. Now she has to pay a daycare center, or now she has to, friends and family is fine too, but still, the mother that had the baby can't be there and watch her own baby, and I just think that that's dumb. Honestly, like I think that's dumb, and I think that that's not fair. I don't think it's fair because and because if she wants to stay home, she should be financially able to do so. There should be stipends from the government. There should be a way where her job is paying her, if not 100% of her income, some portion of it, because she had a baby and she needs that extra support now. So I just think that that doesn't make sense logically in my head. Now I have to go work and now I have to pay someone because I had to go work. And then sometimes you have families where like, okay, say the husband is working and he handles all the bills and the mom is working too. But sometimes it comes a time where she's working literally only to pay for childcare. Like that doesn't make sense. And so, and then in that case, or in a case like this with the pandemic, then you have those moms saying, well, why work? Because my bills, my money is only covering the childcare anyway. So we're going to cut costs and I'm going to stay home now and, watch the kids that way because childcare is crazy expensive, crazy. I have heard some horrible some horrible figures of how much it is, and that's just for one child, not let alone you have two or three that's not school age yet, that need daycare services or whatever, and they're really hard to get into, and a lot of times they're hard to find someone that you really trust, someone that you are compatible with. Sometimes moms have to, I agree, especially if she's a mom that takes care of her children and isn't just popping them for tax benefits. Yeah, that's true. And honestly, the tax benefits don't even begin to cover. I mean, they just really don't. You get some money back in taxes, but it doesn't cover how much it really does require to take care of kids for 12 months out of the year. So yeah, that is true. If she's a mom that's really like putting in that work, she's really there and front and center with her kids. She's making sure they get their work done, and if they're school age, and she's on top of their education. And now you got to throw in she's a wife and she's a mom, and now she's working too. It's a lot. It really is a lot, and in a lot of cases it's too much, which leads me into. I don't know if I lost my train of thought from before, but which leads me into the U.S. having one of the highest infant mortality rate and mom's postpartum rate. So again, we're talking about that first year after birth for mom and for baby. We have one of the highest. New Jersey has almost the highest in the United States in the country. Um, and I believe that this is all a part of it. I believe that this is all a part of one big problem. And the problem really is money. I just feel like, the Bible says the root of all evil is money, or money is the root of all evil. Something like that, I think it says. But it's just like, how greedy and selfish can we be? We got moms dying, we got babies dying. And one of the reasons is moms are not ready to go back to work. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care. I don't care if you had the perfect birth. you had the perfect baby, you had the perfect spouse and support system. I don't care. I just don't feel like moms are ready to go back. And so you add that in with them physically not being able to go back, or maybe even emotionally. Maybe she has postpartum depression. And that's not something that goes away in those 6 weeks. That's not something that goes away in 8 weeks. So now she's dealing with that. So now she has a newborn baby. Now she's at work. Now she has postpartum depression. Now she has postpartum anxiety. And of course, if you're not there, well, for some moms, if you're not there with your baby, then that makes your anxiety and depression just off the charts. So then that's adding to that. So then you get moms who are just stressed out. And obviously we know what stress does to the body. It lowers our immune system. So now we're getting sick more often. Now we can't cope at work and we can't do things, or maybe we're driving our cars and we're not as focused and concentrated as we should be. And if you factor in the breastfeeding, that's another thing on this channel. I really focus on breastfeeding. I talk a lot about breastfeeding because I'm a big supporter of it. But the truth of it is that if you're working, it just makes breastfeeding that much harder, because in order to maintain a good supply, you got to be feeding that baby every 2 to 3 hours, especially a newborn baby. So, like, 3 months and under, they got to be eating that often. And so, if you're doing that, straight from the breast, that's the best way if you can do that. But if you're working, then you can't do that. So now you got to pump. And now you got companies saying you can't pump, or they say, pump only on your breaks. And it's just not feasible. It's just not. Like I said, I went back to work after my first, after 6 months, because I had saved up my money, and I did get like some disability from that job that I was working before I had my daughter. So she was sleeping through the night and she really wasn't eating. She was kind of eating a little bit overnight, but I knew at that point that she didn't need to. But I still wanted to make sure that I kept my supply up. So I had made it in my mind I was going to pump at work, and they gave me a spot to pump. And it was just like, no, it wasn't even acceptable. Sometimes the places they say you can pump is like a storeroom or the bathroom, which is unsanitary. Like, do you eat in the bathroom? And so it's just, then you have that as an obstacle. So moms could be stressed out about that. And then babies need their moms. Like, someone else taking care of the child is fine, if you have to do it, but babies need their moms. And so sometimes you just kind of wonder, with the SIDS rates and, things like that, you kind of wonder, why are certain things so high? Like, why is the mortality rate so high in the US? And why are babies dying before the age of one? So much more often in our country than other countries. And I just got to think that this is a factor to it. The moms can't be there like they want to. And so I think it's all connected, because when you're pregnant, you're really connected to your baby. So, like, that's why I really try to say, keep your stress levels down. And I also try to remind myself of that also when I was pregnant, because things can come stress you out, whether it's the pregnancy itself, or external things or whatever. But try to keep the stress down, because what you feel, the baby's going to feel. If you're breastfeeding, what you feel, the baby's going to feel. Some people don't believe that or whatever, but I definitely do. So, if you have a mom that's stressed out, it's going to rub onto her baby. That baby will get stressed out. And then you just have this whole big circle of things that can lead to actual, so like mental and emotional issues or problems for mom or baby can lead to physical problems for mom and baby. And then that's why I believe the mortality rate is just so high. And I honestly believe that if moms were able to be a little bit more stress free, if they were able to be a little bit more financially supported, we would have lower levels on all fronts for moms, for babies. And and support people as well, because there is a theory that dads can have postpartum depression too. Now, for moms, postpartum depression, most of the times is linked to like our hormone imbalances that we go through after birth, because like your body's just trying to figure out, this whole 9 months and things, certain hormones you need to successfully carry a baby, and then other hormones you need for breastfeeding and everything like that. So your body's going through a lot. Pregnancy itself is a lot on the body, and childbirth of course is a lot on the body. So you have all those things working at one time, and then you just add on stress and financial stress at that. It's just crazy. And also in our country, so I think the statistics say that most couples are either waiting longer to have children, or they're having less children maybe than they had wanted to, or just opting not to have children at all. Which is a little sad too, because there's couples that maybe want more children but just feel like financially they can't do it. Um, and that's sad because if they want more children, I feel like we should be in a society that supports them to be able to do that. And then you have our society is getting older as a whole, and then if you have people not having any children at all or having less children, then we're going to be in a situation where, like Japan, I don't know if you've heard about that, where their society is more of their society is older, so like elderly people, and there's not enough young people in that country to take care of them. And that's what's starting to happen here in the US too. Now, of course, these things are kind of gradual, so it will take a while for that really to like be like a big issue for us, but it definitely is becoming an issue. Um, and again, that's because having children is not really supported in this country. Um, and then, of course, you have people. Um, this is so informative. I love it. This is sad. It really is. But listening to this gives more understanding about all of this. Thank you so much, Esther. And that's why I do these videos because, especially for people especially for people who don't have children yet, I want you to be as prepared as possible. Um, so you kind of know what you're going to be facing, what you're going to be going through. Because I just feel like the more you know, the better you're able to handle things when those issues come, when they arise, if they do. Um, so yeah, I just feel like with the society being older, that if we were better supported, then people, I'm not saying would have like a whole bunch of kids like they did back in the day. Um, but it wouldn't be uh this is exactly why I'm here. I'm that person that needs to be prepared. I hear you. Me too. I mean, me and my mom and my sister, like we talk for hours about this stuff before ever being or for me ever being a parent. And so I definitely go back in my mind and think about certain things that my mom has said, and maybe I didn't understand it then, but I definitely understand things now, and things definitely make sense. And it's like, no, we need to do better. We definitely need to do better. So it's like, okay, if people are not having children, what happens when we have all these elderly people, because life expectancy has gone up for some. That's a whole nother topic. But what happens when there's not enough people or young people to take care of them? Then what do we do then? So that's just really, it's just really, I feel like a big problem. And um I don't know, like, I don't want this video to just be a video where I'm just talking and venting about it, because obviously, yes, I can do that, but I really do wanna find a way to, I don't know, get something going with this. Like, how can we actively, participate in turning this around? Because we need to do better. Like, the FMLA Act is like hardly nothing, right? It's really not really anything. And I just feel like it could and should be better. Like, okay, so there's this one YouTuber I watch, and I think her name is, I remember her last name, Amber Anse, something like that. She's Dutch, but she lives in Denmark, I think. Um, and she had a baby, so she had her baby, and she kind of, her situation with her baby kind of went a little like my first. So she had preeclampsia, and she had to deliver suddenly. So her baby was a NICU baby. And she was really small and everything like that. But her maternity leave was phenomenal. Like, I watched her videos because she does like mom vlogs and stuff like that. And it was great. She was like, she got paid. Well, she's a YouTuber, so I'm not sure exactly how the pay worked, but she said the hospital stay was fantastic. It was like a hospital, not a hospital, like a hotel hospital stay. And then they showed the food and a room, and just gorgeous, just gorgeous. And then but that wasn't like she paid extra for it. That was just the standard of care for, its citizens. And then she said, so 6 months postpartum, I think, for up to 6 months postpartum, I mean, she got like services. So I think she had to choose between what she wanted, and I can't remember what the other thing was. But the service she chose was house cleaning. So I think every week they would come. I don't know who. I don't know if it was like, I'm guessing it must have been a company that the hospital used or her insurance used, however that worked over there. But they would come and clean her house for her. It might have been even some kind of like free daycare services provided in there. But any way that they any way that they could help over there, they do for their moms and for their babies. And I just feel like that was so fantastic to just watch and see. Like I was so happy for her. And she as a mom got to recover and physically recover because she did have a traumatic birth, and her birth story and the way things happened was traumatic for her. But she got to recover from that, and also not have to worry about, hey, my house needs to be clean and I got this newborn baby. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say now. Okay, so there's those people out there that it's not funny, but there's some people out there that's like, mom shouldn't complain or people shouldn't complain if you didn't want to have kids and you shouldn't have had them, right? Okay. I understand that. But at the end of the day, like I said before, the kids are here. So now that the kids are here, we need to provide for these kids. And I just feel like the US makes it hard to do that. It makes it hard to do that in all aspects. And I feel like with the pandemic, it just made things kind of like to the forefront. Like with housing, if you're out there looking for housing, that's crazy right now. Food is crazy right now. Gas is crazy right now. Like I don't even have to tell you. While people in Denmark really care about their moms and future citizens. That's great. And see, that's the thing. That's the thing. I say yes, the future citizens. These children that they're birthing are the future citizens. They're all the ones who are going to be, having the jobs that we have now, and taking care of things and running corporations and doing white collar jobs, blue collar jobs, and things like that. So we need to make sure that they're supported as children so they can grow up to do those things, so that they can actually live to do those things and not die in infancy because they're not being taken care of, because if you're in poverty or impoverished, certain things are just harder for you. The quality of food that you can eat may not be up to a good standard, or where you live may not be up to a good standard, so that could be a factor against your health and risk and things like that. So just it goes so much more beyond than just paying moms um for postpartum, because I just feel like if moms at least didn't have to worry about that, they would have less stress, and it'd be less stress for the families as a whole. It'd be less stress for the babies. But I think for us, it's like they only care about their businesses. They only care about what you can bring to the table. And if you can't do that, then I can find somebody else to do that. And I don't, you know what I mean? Like I don't need you. Um, and so that's kind of how this country treats its moms, which is really sad. Um, I remember, so I used to be a substitute teacher. Um, and I don't know, it might have been my first substituting job too. And I went to this school, and so I kind of specialized in like special needs and things like that, or like the physically disabled. I don't know why. I just have a soft spot in my heart for those kind of people. So I love doing that. Um so I worked at one school, and I wasn't the substitute like over the whole class. I was like a stand-in person because they needed at least three people in the room. So it was like a ratio they had to keep up or whatever. And I was there to just help out. And the main teacher had just came back from maternity leave. Like this was her first day back from maternity leave. And she had a student who was upset about whatever. I think he was autistic, and she went to, I think she went to pump actually. She went to pump, or she had a break. And there was another teacher in there with the student, and the student just totally destroyed the classroom. Now, I was with another group of students. We were at the library. And when we came back, all of us came back together, and the teacher also. And he just like ripped all her things off the wall. He turned the desk over. He was throwing things. It was just like a crazy, crazy atmosphere. And I just remember looking at her face and just seeing like she wanted to cry. I don't think she actually did cry, but it looked like she wanted to bust out crying. And I just in that moment I felt so bad. Now I wasn't a mom yet at the time. So seeing that, and I felt so bad. I was like, I just want her to be home with her baby. Like that's how I remember feeling. And I was like, this is her first day back. Her first day back. Now I know people with special needs or behavior problems, they act a certain way at times. And but I just felt so bad for her in that moment. And I was like, this is not right. This is not what she needed at this moment. And so I just remember that, and I'm just like, certain things like that kind of really bother me. And then, like I said again, finding quality childcare that you can trust, because I know y'all have heard the horror stories. I know y'all heard the horror stories of just disgusting, or harmful things to children. And then it's like, but I gotta work. So what am I gonna do? I gotta work. So I gotta leave my kids somewhere. And there's people that just really don't even value human life. So you could be leaving your child with who knows, you know what I mean? Um, so that really makes me sad too. And it's just not right all the way around, because for the most part, moms love their children and they will go above and beyond for them. They would do whatever they have to do for their child. But when you put them in a situation where they can't be there all the time, then that means someone else is taking hand and raising them. And it may not be what the mother wants or the father wants. And it may not be the quality of care that the other parent wants or that the parents want. But at that point, some people just don't have a choice. They don't have a better option. But again, if we could keep our parents home, we could keep our moms home so they can not only raise their children but heal. Um, then I just think that the mortality rate will go way down for everything. So let's do another question. Uh-huh. Hi, Marsha. Thanks for joining the live. What was my other question? I'm trying to think of something that's not too hard and not too easy either. I really should have wrote them down. Okay, another question for the giveaway. And it has to be something that I've mentioned before. Like I leave a lot of stuff in my description boxes of my videos, but I don't think a lot of people read those. So let me think. Hmm. What is okay, I got a good one. Is that a good one? This one might be a little easy, but what is my favorite season? So whoever can answer that will get one of these beautiful paintings that I showed before, and I will show them again just in case we have anyone new. And like I said, my mom did these lovely paintings. She loves to paint. And I will leave her info in the bottom, in the description box of this video. You got it, Esther. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Oh, I love me some fall. And can you just smell it and feel it in the air? Can y'all feel it in the air? It's coming. I'm so excited. I know sometimes I talk about it with Tayana, and she's like, "No, don't tell me nothing about fall," because she has to go back because she's a teacher. But I'm like, "Good, just bring on the fall, bring on everything fall." Okay, yes, Esther. So you get one of those. So again, I will leave my email address in the description of this box, and you can me your address, and I will send one of these lovely paintings to you. Okay, so we got two questions so far, but one answer. So I technically still have two um, paintings to give away. So let's see, is there anything else I want to touch on? Let's reread the one from here. Mhm. Oh, let's go back to Germany because I'm just fascinated by this. Yay! Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. um, Okay, a portion of their salary. So I don't know how much that is, like that portion, but for 3 years, can you imagine if you're a U.S. mom, if you didn't have to worry about finances, or at least not worry as much for 3 years? Like that's amazing. And honestly, yeah, and honestly, before children are able to go to school, they do need all day watching, or all day, um, like attendance. So that's amazing. And she said that's if both parents are working. And child support, oh, I don't know if I read that part. Child support each month until they turn 18. Each month? That's such a blessing for them. I'm so happy for them. Maybe I need to get up out of here and go to Germany. Oh, wow. That's nice. That's real nice. And that's nice that that's the standard. That's not like if you work here, you can get it. If you work there, you can get it. Because over here in the US, it's like if you have a job, so again, like I said, like the mom and pops, where it's not really even guaranteed that you can get maternity leave, or have some portion of your pay given to you after birth, because they don't have enough workers. And I don't know where this 50-person thing came from. Again, it's because they're looking at finances. So they're like, okay, if it's a company that has at least 50 workers, they can afford for one person or two people to be out and pay them partial salary or whatever. But for another company. So say those mom and pop shops that we love, we want to keep them in business because they sell unique things or whatever like that that you can't find anywhere else, handmade things, but they don't have 50 employees. So they're like, well, we can't afford to pay a mom who's out on maternity leave because we don't have enough employees to cover that. Um, so yeah, so that's really how it is here. But then that's what I'm saying. There's just this big gap, this big disparity. Summer, no, actually, Esther got that one. Is fall. My favorite season is fall. But good trying. Good. Thank you for trying for that one. Actually, summer out of all of them is probably my least favorite because I hate being hot. I hate being like I can't think when it's hot. So yeah, I love fall because of the way the air feels and smells, and I just love like all of the fall stuff. So the leaves and pumpkin spice and like that cool crisp air. I love it so much. Um, but I was saying, oh yeah, so there's a big gap in the US for a mom who may be working for a company, like I said, who doesn't have 50 employees. So she's not going to get anything. Like she may get her job protected where she can, after her 6 weeks, after her 8 weeks, go back to the same job she had. But then you have other companies. So say like Google, who is a little bit more, obviously they have more than 50 employees, but they're a little bit more, what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit more, hmm, I don't I I don't know why the word fashion forward is coming to my mind, but that's not the word I'm thinking of. Oh, I didn't see that comment. Let me see. You should repeat the first question in case someone missed it. What was the first question? It was, y'all know pregnancy brain still exists after you have your baby. um, the first question. Oh, what is my motto that I say at the end of all of my videos? Yes, what is my motto that I say at the end? That's the first question. So that whoever answered that correctly can get one of these lovely, lovely paintings. Um, but Google is more I don't know the word. They're a little more current. I don't know. I'm lacking a word here. If y'all know what I'm trying to say, please help me out. But they're a little more trendy something or whatever, but basically if you have a baby and you work for Google, you're going to be set. Like they have all these incentives for you, they have breastfeeding rooms, they have, like, they really are like top notch. Like that's probably like the company you want to be working for when you have a baby, because postpartum they take care of their moms. At least the last that I read and saw, and they were doing some really cool things for postpartum, and I think even like dads postpartum we're also getting a little bit of a stipend too, which is amazing because, if you do have two parents in the home, it would be lovely if the dad could stay home and bond with the baby, and help mom while she's physically recovering from her childbirth also. So yes, pay dads too, you know what I mean? So that they both can stay home with the baby, get to know that baby. Dad can help mom come up with a routine and help her with the things that she may need help with, especially if you have a C-section, because let me tell you, that is brutal. Like you can't even get up and stand up on your own for a while where it not hurt. So of course if dad can be home, handing mom the baby, when she needs to breastfeed, or be home and make the bottles while mom sits down and breastfeed, and he can change diapers, and you know what I mean? If it could just be a little bit more them getting to know the baby together and learning their roles, as mom and as father together would be awesome. But then again, like I said, you have in this case where dads probably don't get anything after the birth of their child. So they're going back out to work unless they have time saved up. So then that becomes an individual problem. Well, I had my time saved up. It sucks that you couldn't, but some people maybe they couldn't. Maybe they just started a new job and they have to be there every single day. So now mom's at home doing all the work herself, and it's just a lot. Um, so yeah, so that would be great if they could if dads also got some kind of financial incentive, at least for like what would be nice is 2 weeks. But at least for a week, like come on. Um, so yeah, I was reading those comments still about Germany. Um, oh, and so they get that child support until their child is 25 if they're in school. So kind of like here, um, that like you can like stay on your parents' insurance if you are, what is it? Is it 25 or 21? I actually am not sure. But if you're still in school, so basically while you're still in school, you kind of are still covered in a lot of things by your parents. So that's really cool again that they do that until they're 25. And she says she has four small children. Now, four in today's time is a lot. You tell people you got four children, they're gonna be looking at you sideways. Like, but in the years of our grandparents or whatever, that was like jump change, because things were just they weren't as costly as they are now. Buying a home wasn't as costly. Food definitely wasn't as costly. Even cars and things like that weren't as costly. And now, and this is kind of a side note, but now you have kids. I mean, not cars. I mean, kids. Let me read this. Okay. This is so much. Oh my gosh. Having time and money freed up for the reset after the newborn is so important. I really didn't realize this. Yeah. It is important. And it would be so nice if everyone did, but you gotta be realistic. That's not everyone's situation. Everyone doesn't have the time and the money saved up. So then what do? You know what I mean? Then those people can provide for their children like they want to just because they couldn't. That's why I really feel like the government should step in on this issue. Um, and I feel like, okay, so I feel like these policies were made by men who never have and never will be pregnant. So they don't even understand that. And then they don't understand the recovery. And I always say on this channel, to me personally, postpartum is way harder than pregnancy. Now, yes, I had hard pregnancies, like really hard pregnancies. But postpartum is so much harder because, okay, for at least for me, I'm speaking from my experience. For me, pregnancy is the baby is inside of you. So yes, the baby's a concern, but it's really not like you have to do too much. Um, as far as the baby is concerned. But once the baby is here, now you have to take care of something that literally cannot take care of itself 24 hours a day for the rest of their life. Woo! So yes, it can be it's a lot. It really is a lot. And you think that you prepare? Yes. You prepare? Yes. I'm just thinking about like, all the things that I thought I knew or all the things that that right there, the originator of the laws. Yes. Hey Shima. Hey mom. Nice to see you on here today. I showed you beautiful paintings. I'm gonna show them again and when I remember another question, when I have another question. But yeah, I was just thinking of all the things that I was like, I'm gonna have this down because I helped my mom with these kids and I was here from day one. It's funny now, so I'm one of the oldest in my family, and I helped a lot with my parents. I mean, with my younger siblings. Um, so I just thought that, I guess motherhood would be easy. I guess I should say that. I thought it would be easy, and it's not. It really is not. There's so much that go into it. Um, and yeah, finances can be a big stressor. But talking about the laws, yeah, so then you got people making laws that affect other people that literally have no comprehension of what we're going through or the things that we will be going through or have to go through, given our positions, like again as a mom or as a wife or whatever. And so the 6 to 8 weeks, and I really don't understand where that number came from. If anyone else knows, please help me out. Maybe it came from where like the uterus shrinks back to a size. I don't know. I don't know where this 6 to 8 weeks thing came from. But even if the uterus is back to a size, what about everything else? You know what I mean? What about everything else? Um, and I plan on doing a 6 month postpartum update on this channel because some things have changed and some things have stayed the same. And I'm 6 months postpartum, so I should be healed, right? I should be free. I should be walking around, da da da, happy, healthy. It's just not like that. It's not. Um, at least not for me. And I'm 6 months in, and I'm still not. I'm still not completely healed. Like, so yeah, those kids they should be asleep right now. I can't believe this. Um, but But yeah, so again, you have lawmakers making laws and making or where they think that they're helping out. Like I said, with the Family Leave Act is a step in the right direction. It's a step. It's like a, like if you throw a rock out to the pond, it's like just one of those little skips, just one. Like we need to be doing so much better. There's really no excuse. And then for us to be labeled as a first world country, um, first world where? When there's third world countries who have better stats than we do. So it's not making sense. We have to make it make sense. We have to make it add up. And I do believe that them not being more active about paying is an issue for a lot of people, for a lot of families. Um, when was the Family Leave Act passed? I don't know that off the top of my head, but let's see. Let's see if I can search it up real quick on Google. Dr. Google. I think it's Family Maternity Leave Act. Yeah, okay. Um, okay, so let's just read it. The New Jersey. Okay, so this is for New Jersey. The New Jersey Family Leave Act entitles certain, keyword certain, employees to take up to 12 weeks of family leave in a 24-month period without losing their jobs. Now, y'all saw that? Without losing their jobs. That's not guaranteeing you any financial support there. And for Yeah, so it's 12 up to 12 weeks unpaid job protected leave. That's it. That's it. And again, for at least for New Jersey, if you have a baby, um, if it takes 9 months for a baby to develop, grow, then why wouldn't it take 9 months to heal? Exactly. And the U.S. praises herself in being on top, but she's so behind with the things that matter most. It's crazy. Yeah, yeah, and that's the thing right there. And like I said, we can get started on a whole bunch of different other subjects because we can talk about education, we can talk about healthcare in general as a whole. Um, Even cars, like, come on, our cars are not better than some other cars, you know? I know some people who would never buy an American made car. They're like, no, they're trash. But yeah, again, so the Family Maternal Leave Act doesn't guarantee pay. And in New Jersey, you can, so I think it's temporary disability. So you will fill out a temporary disability form. Your OB has to sign it, or whoever delivered your baby has to sign it, and then your previous job that you have on record has to sign it. And then, like I said, if they block it, they block it. Then you don't get that money at all. So that really sucks because if you're a working person, and you're getting a paycheck and you do your taxes and everything like that, that money is getting taken out anyway. So then it's like, okay, if mom doesn't get it, then who's it going to? Who's that money going back to? It's just lost money. So honestly, they're stealing from us at this point. Um, and yeah, if it takes a baby 9 months to develop and grow, then why wouldn't it take 9 months to heal? And it does. It takes at least. I would say it takes at least 9 months to heal. For some women, it can take longer, depending on how you gave birth, really, and really depending on how your pregnancy went, also as well. Because I know I've been hearing a lot about women having like pelvic floor issues, and I don't think I have, but I definitely have something going on with like my lower back. And I don't, I honestly don't know, um, like what it is, but I do think it's attributed to me having, four babies in what, 6 years. So not really that great with the spacing on that one. And yeah, you have to give your body to heal, in between pregnancies, after your pregnancy, and things like that. So then you have that, and then you have people who have permanent, damage or permanent changes from having a baby. So like, um, I'm not sure if the prolapse, what is that? Prolapse uterus or something like that. I'm not sure if that's permanent, but I've heard of some things where moms are just like never the same. Like my grandma, I think she even tells, like when she tells her birth story of her last child, she said things haven't been the same in her body since, and she's a 70 something year old woman, and she still is feeling, pains, in certain areas from childbirth. So it really does change you forever. Um, and if like if the care afterwards was better, like, so the 6-week checkup, when you go in, they do your blood pressure, they weigh you, and you have an internal exam, they ask you about breastfeeding, and they may do a breast exam, just like, not like a real, not like a mammogram or anything like that, but just feeling for lumps or whatever, and then you're out the door. You know what I mean? That's it. And that to me is really sad because it's like so much more happened than just that. And I think moms need to be followed up postpartum at least for that whole first year. Like I saw a picture on Instagram and I think it showed like all the prenatal visits that you have until you deliver. So until you have guy really wasn't playing. My sis, that is so funny. Yeah, we have figured out, and we still playing to this day. Oh man, that cracked me up. But yes, it is it is so much. Even with my pregnancy, so I got like a lot of skin tags, and some of them are hereditary because my grandmother does have them. But I noticed that I got more while I was pregnant, and some of them went away after I gave birth, and some of them are still here. So even like little things like that, it's just like you're forever changed, your body. So yeah, that is so funny. Um, but I was talking about, what was I talking about? My train of thought is going. It's gone. It's all the way gone. But again, you have people making policies who really can't relate, and so the policies that they're coming up with, they're not great. So we definitely need to do better with that. And I'm gonna try to see what I can do personally on like, I'm not a politician or anything like that, but I want to see like what can we do to really change this? Like what can we do to really make sure that moms are getting um what they need postpartum. Oh, I was talking about the visits that you have. So when you have your prenatal visits, you have it every month up until what is that? Maybe like 28 weeks, and then it's no, I could be wrong. I'm drawing a blank. But you have them frequently. So I think altogether throughout your pregnancy it's probably like 10 or 12. Um, and then, of course, if you're a high risk pregnancy, then you're going to see a specialist in addition to like an OB or if you have a midwife. So you may have more visits than that overall. But then postpartum, you have one visit, one blanket visit for every woman that's giving birth. And it's like, okay. And the baby at that point is not even 2 months old. So then we just send her home on her merry little way, which most times is not a really a merry little way, and she has to deal with everything else. And there are no more checkups. So then now what are we doing with moms? Well, now what are we doing for moms? 6 week checkups are not enough. They're not. They're not enough. And I will say for my OB, I really, really, really appreciated them, especially for this last birth because I felt like so I definitely did do have postpartum depression. And it really hit me hard, and a lot of it was because of my recovery. Like it was just so painful, and I was so swollen, and I just literally thought that I would never be able to like be physically able to do things again. And then I had this little baby, and it was just too much. It really was too much. I tried to be as honest as possible when I was doing my questionnaires and everything like that. And they had me come back for like up to, so I had my 6 week checkup, but I went back like 2 or 3 times after that, and they just wanted to stay on top of like my mental health, my mental state. So I really appreciated that about them. Um, so yeah, shout out to them. I went to virtual OBGYN here in New Jersey. And they were great. And honestly, for all of my births, all of my pregnancies, I would say most overall they were great, but yeah, it's hard to even find a physician or an OB practice or something that you really really trust, that you really really trust. And so then that's a whole nother thing. But then again, if you can only afford whatever you can afford, then that's all you can get. And sometimes it's like if you have more money, then you can get better quality, but that's not fair to the moms who can't afford it. And I feel the same way about this whole postpartum maternity leave. So if you save up all your days or you save up vacation time or whatever, then maybe you can stretch your postpartum leave out to 6 months, or maybe you can stretch it out for a year. Um, And if you have a partner helping out financially, that's great too. But then what about those moms who don't? What if those moms can't, stretch out their maternity leave because they don't have the finances to do so, and now they're working before their bodies are able and ready for them to go back to work again. And like I said, that just leads to all this other stuff. So yeah, that's I think everything I wanted to talk about here in this video. Let me just go back over these and see that some other countries are really, I feel like some other ones are really hitting the mark on this issue. Like they're really, it sounds like they're doing great, and I would just love to be a part of that. And that's one of the reasons why I kind of do want to like go to another country or live in another country, especially Canada, because they just have better healthcare, and I feel like they treat their citizens better, especially when it comes to moms and postpartum and everything like that. So let me think of one more question for today to give away this last one. Okay, so the first question was, what is my motto? If you know that, you can leave that in the chat, or you can leave it in the description box of this video, because that will still be a question that, if it gets answered, then I'll give away one of these. And Esther answered the other one about fall being my favorite season. That is so true. And I think the last one will be, and I don't know if this is a hard question or not. And again, family can't answer this, but how old am I? And so for this one, if you get it spot on, then obviously you get the one of these. But if you don't get it, then whoever is closest can get one of these paintings. So I'm going to show them one more time before we wrap up here. And yes, that's why I said I'm going to put my mom's information in the description box, because she has so many more. If you were at the pop-up shop, then you got to see some of those things. But I'm telling you, that's not even touching some of the stuff she has at home. And it's just, they're amazing. So, and she also does, what's the word? She also curates some. So if you want an original piece where like you tell her the colors and designs and shapes that you want, she can do that also as well. So this is the first one. Again, it's going to be random, but hopefully you like them all. And this one is more like a chocolate. I think it's showing up true to color. I think. Yeah, I think so. From my end it is anyway. So this like chocolate, mustard yellow, and white and black. This one here is green, I would say orange, tan, blue, and white. So this is the next one. This is fluid artwork. I think that's what it's called, with like acrylic paint. And she does a lot of different designs and styles to make texture. Like this one here, this first one here is textured. If you were to feel it, it's not smooth. I don't know if you can hear, like it's like bumpy. So that one is textured. But this one though here this one is smooth. And I was just looking at this a little more today, and I love it. And I'm like, I don't know if I want to part with it, but she did give these to me for the giveaway, so I just gotta give these away. But I can always get another one. But this one kind of reminds me of like a night sky. So this is, I guess, what's that there? That's gold. I hope that's coming through as gold and purple. Yeah, kind of like a galaxy or something. So I love this. I love this one a lot. And this one is shiny. I don't know if you can, yeah, oh, okay, there you go. There you go. Get some light on there. That one's really shiny. Oh, you like the purple one? Okay, okay. You did answer first. This one is also shiny. Ooh. And I'm not sure what the prices would be if you were to buy these from her. Um, but you can always connect with her and see what her prices are. So these are all shiny, which are lovely. And you can hang this in your addition. So I did say all the questions, right? Okay. So my motto, and the last one is my age. Guess my age, or if you actually know my age, you can leave that in the description of this video. I think that's all that I have. I hope I didn't forget anything, because like I said, I didn't take any notes. I just kind of been thinking about it the last 2 weeks. But yes, if you have any like suggestions on how we can maybe get the ball rolling on doing something, or trying to like change this for mothers out there, let me know. Um, and you can always message me directly on Instagram. So I do have that, and all of my contact information I think is in the description box already. But if not, I can put that there. And yeah, I think that's all I want to say on this topic. That we need to do better. We need to do better. We need to save our moms. We need to save our babies. And that starts with lightening that financial load. So thank you so much for watching tonight. I really enjoyed this live. I didn't expect to be on here this long, but thank you for watching. Again, thank you everyone for subscribing and getting me to 1,000 subscribers. I am so excited. So excited. Because when I did my last live, I don't think I even was there yet. So it's kind of exciting to be there, not even like a week later. So that's really cool. And also remember, do we know anyone in the legal department? I don't personally. I don't think I do. Um, but there's gotta be someone that can do some legal. I know somebody does. They do something writing. I don't know what it is exactly, but yeah, I definitely want to. I don't know, maybe network with some other people and see what we can do. Maybe start a petition or something like that. I don't know, but I enjoyed it as well. Thank you for always bringing helpful information. Thank you for watching, Esther. I definitely appreciate you watching. Um, So yeah, I think that's all I have for tonight. Thank you again, like I said, for subscribing and everything like that and watching. And I guess we'll see next week if we do Friday or Saturday. But I think that's all I have. Thank you for watching, and I will get these paintings out. Don't forget to email me. If you do get the question right, you can email me. I'll put that in the description right after this video so I can send these beautiful things out to you. And well, I can't say my motto because then I would be giving away. But everyone have a good night. It's a topic for us to network about. Yes, we're gonna keep talking about this because maybe we can start something. Maybe we can be that change that we want to see. But again, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the rest of your Saturday night, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.